Good morning. Welcome to OG Lowe's Corner, OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. I'm your host, Carlos Stargell, aka OG Lowe. And before I begin, I'd like to give a birthday shout out to this legend right here. Happy birthday, Mr. George Benson. Man, been around since I was young. Happy, and believe it or not, this is one of the songs, like the first song I remember him singing. But what I didn't know, it was covered. It was a cover song. I know the original person who sung it was Leon Russell, and George Benson also covered another one of his songs, Lady Blue. Yeah, the one that say, "Sad lady, blue lady, sing me another love song." Yeah, but George Benson did a lot. He did a couple of covers by him, but he also did a song where he acknowledged his mentor, Wes Montgomery. Yes, we all remember Wes. Yeah, that was a pretty cool song. But anyway, happy birthday to George Benson. I'm not gonna reveal how old the man is, but he's up there. And he's up there now. Yes. But just saying, this Breezing album was a pretty dynamite album. And he won a Grammy. So yeah, shout out. Yeah, happy birthday again to Mr. George Benson. Anyway, I just had to get that. I just had to throw that out there because the man made some pretty pretty and dynamite music. Yes, but today also too, well, it looks kind of gloomy here where I'm at today, and hopefully y'all having nice weather wherever you guys are, whether you're in Atlanta, whether you're on the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, North, South. Hope your you're having a prosperous day, a blessed day, and hope everybody's in good spirit. Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I haven't heard from this sister like in many moons, and we're so glad to hear from her. I mean, we were neighbors once upon a time, and she was one of my favorite. She was one of my favorite customers when I was working at Kroger. Yeah, and to be honest with you, yeah, I'm missing everybody, and I'm missing Kroger, but life goes on. And look, I'm doing my thing now. I'm enjoying myself. I do what I like to do, and whatever makes me happy, I do it. Because guess what? Nobody ain't gonna be me but me, and nobody gonna do what I want to do, but because I want to do. I mean, everybody got their own thing, and I got mine. So, so be it. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, watching another good flick last night about the guy who succeeded the lady Miss Blanco, the female kingpin, the man who succeeded with Pablo Escobar. He did one thing about it. He might have did a lot of terrible things, but he also gave back to his community and gave back to his people. I mean, everybody respected this man. I mean, he was like their national hero down there compared to Blanco. But see, he lived so hard and fast and died so young, 44 years old, and from horrible death. That's not a good way to go. I mean, that's why whatever you do, if it's bad, if it's not what they say it's not what you do, it's how you do. Well, some cases, yeah, I can't. But you know me, I like I always say, I can't say nothing. I'm not the one. I can't say nothing. I mean, because people gonna do what they want to do anyway. If you over 18 and you over 21, you're considered grown, and you got to make your own decisions, and you got to live by them. And like I say, when they say a hard make a soft behind, it's sad because people got to find out the hard way. And another saying we call that too. We call that a rude awakening. That means sometimes it takes something real tragic or real bad to, or traumatic to change your way of thinking and change you, period. Because you have a lot of people, when they start off young, they can be out of control. Parents can't handle them. And a lot of people give up. A lot of people give up on people like that because they feel like nothing they can say or do. And then they'll come out with the term they're better off dead. But guess what? I knew some people like that. But guess what? You know what? They changed. And I don't know how traumatic it was or how bad it was, but the people I'm speaking about, I'm not going to call their names, when they changed for the better and the greater good. And like I told one who made that change, I told him I already heard the good news in high school that he had got saved. But when I heard he was called to preach, I was so happy. I wanted to jump the moon and take him with me. That's how happy I was. And when I told him that, he laughed so hard and he was like, "You still Carlos." That's why people love you, because you one person who he told me too, out of all the people who gave up hope, who wished he was dead, he said he glad I didn't fall into that category. He said he glad I didn't give up on him. And he glad that I kept him in prayer. And I felt good about him. I felt good about that because that's what the Lord would have wanted me to do. Because if you're a child of God, you have to be obedient. And that's the truth. I mean, excuse me. Oh, almighty Jesus, excuse me. But anyway, like I was saying, you have to be, if you're a child of God, you have to be, it's best for you to be obedient. Hard head, make a soft, you know what. So we all fall short, but it's up to us to get up off our rested dusters and keep on going. Now I don't know about y'all, but I'm not easy. I'm not the one who's easy to fall. Because if I fall, I'm gonna get back up and never give up and don't give out, because it's so much ahead. We got so much ahead of us. I mean, it's something out there. It's something out there that's waiting for us, and it's something good. I'm a living witness. I know that. I knew someday it was something and someone good was going to be out there waiting for me, and it was. I really didn't see it at first, or looked at it like that at first, because of the trust issues, and because of you know you know being, cause once you get hurt, once you really get hurt, you're not going to want to be bothered for a while. I mean, that goes for anybody. But if you love the Lord and you believe and you want to be obedient and you striving to be obedient, oh, guess what? God will watch his children. Trust me. You know what they always say? God watches it. They watch babies and fools. And God look, and you know an old saying too. You don't mess with God's children. Because guess what? Messing with God's children will make you will catch pure HE double hockey sticks. For real. Yeah, that's a true story also. You mess up, you disrespect God's children, and you might the beat down might not be emotional. I mean, it might not be physical. Yeah, the beat down might not be physical, but it can be emotional. It can be put it like this. It can be a spiritual beat down, and that's not. And guess what? And that's not good to have a spiritual beat down because it will get your conscience. You know what though? Your conscience will get you. You know what I'm saying? Your conscience will get you. I mean, karma is a bit with spike heels. Trust me. That's why. And some people wonder when they do wrong and bad things start to happen, and they wonder why. They know why. They just too in denial to admit it because anybody can do wrong. Anybody can make a mistake. But if you real enough to admit and correct them, guess what? That's a great thing. That's always the right thing to do. But if you walk around in denial, like you never did, like you innocent, like you can't do no wrong, you know what? The ones who go out there go all out the way to act like they never do no wrong. They innocent, and those are the ones you can tell. I hate to say this, but those are the ones who faker than $8 bill. And y'all know an $8 bill don't exist. So that lets you know how fake. And like I told y'all before, another name for people like them, the original N word, narcissist. Guess what? They think that people fear them. They think they're always right. But guess what? If you know what, not only people like that can and will be brought to reality. And like I said, that rude awakening. But if nobody on earth does it, guess who will do it? You already know. The Lord. Yes. Because guess what? Like I said, God watches, they say God watches babies and fools. And guess what? Also, too, and people like that, the best thing for you to do, and I had to do this myself, give them enough rope. Give them enough rope. Because when they run out that rope, they going to hang themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. You always give that person enough rope to hang themselves. And like a buddy of mine told me years ago, don't let them see you sweat. Keep on, keep on being you, but don't let them see you sweat. And guess what? He was right, and it works because if you let them see you sweat, you're an easy target. But when they don't see you sweat, then they wonder because guess what? That's when the power underestimation comes in. That's one thing you don't do in life. Never underestimate nothing and nobody. Because the same people you underestimate, guess what? Now that's when the rude awakening comes in. Because you're going to use assumption. Think about assumption. What's the first three letters in that word? Assumption. ASS. because making assumptions, they end up making asses out of themselves because they the ones who are gonna look stupid, not them, not the person they trying to mess with. Think about that assumption. The first three letters. Think about that, people. Give you something to think about in life. Cause I hate to say this, but when it comes to our people, God forgive me, a lot of them don't think. They don't think before they act. And honestly, they just don't damn think because they are when they act out, they think they feel good. They think it makes us feel good. But guess what? But when the consequences, and then that's when the consequences comes in. Then you be like, then you have that stupid look on your face, have that guilt, and then you feel so shame, not stupid but shame. Like I should have never did that. I mean, how could I never? What should I do to avoid all that? That's what happens when you act out without thinking. That's how a lot of people get messed up in this society. And then they do certain amount of bids for something that could have been avoided. But then you got some out here, wrong place, wrong time, and then suffer consequences for no reason for something they didn't do or didn't know about. And they say the law is here to protect us, but who's going to protect us from them? I mean, come on now. I don't want to talk about the law, but I mean, I hate to say this, but I mean, it's been going on since the beginning of time, and nobody done a damn thing about it to stop it. So if you're gonna talk about it, do something about it. That's what I'm saying too, and especially, but I will say about a few years ago, in Stone Mountain, I will say the NFAC, they made their presence known in Stone Mountain, and they had a lot of people afraid. Now the ones who they should have had afraid, and the ones who was talking about them, guess what? That's when that guilt kicks in, because they know what they did, and they know what their so-called ancestors and forefathers did, and they know they knew what was going on, but they had like that was the normal thing to do. Bullshit. No, it's not. They could have did right. Oh, excuse pardon my language, y'all. But what came up had to come out. And I'm not gonna sit up here and hold my tongue too much longer because whatever gonna come up, gonna come out. And look, long as it's not against the standards. But I will say this: I'm gonna say what's on my mind. I'm gonna speak my piece. You know why? Because this is my damn mouth, and I'm gonna speak what I feel. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna speak to go against to hurt anybody. But if the truth hurt, so be it. You need your ass whooped by the truth. Like I said, that spiritual breakdown. That's what that's what I'm talking about. That spiritual beatdown. Because that's another thing. That's what I call the truth. That's what consists with the truth. Spiritual beatdown. You might not get beat physically, but spirit, your conscience gonna kick your tail. And so, like I said, quit trying, quit pulling shyster moves to try to get over on people. Because guess what? What you do will come back to you. Quit trying to do crazy stuff. Quit trying to think you doing something getting away with it. Because guess what? Like I said before, God sees everything. You think you're getting away with it, but you're not. So if you're smart, think before you act. And the so-called and the ones that's and the so-called ones who don't really care about nothing and nobody in life. Now those are the ones who need to rot or better off dead. Because guess what? The ones who think had that don't give a damn about nobody mentality, guess what? I hate to say this, if when something traumatic or real bad, horrible happens to them, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be sympathetic about it. But at the same time, I hate to hear that it happened. But at the same time, I would not be sympathetic. And the reason why I wouldn't be so sympathetic about it is because what the what they did is they reap what they sowed. I mean, one thing I learned too, like I said, everybody, I mean, a lot of people retaliate physically, but I know how to retaliate with the mind and the mouth. Because guess what? What I'm thinking and what might come out will hurt you harder than a gunshot. For real. Because you got to be, like I said, I don't like to resort into making people feel that I snatched the souls out of them. But I'll do it. Yes, I will. I'll do it and won't care because why should I be nice then? Why? I mean, they always say, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, pray for them who despitefully use you and persecute you. Come from Matthew 5:44. But guess what? And then they always talk about turning the other cheek. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the other cheek. And when I do, I'm gonna knock them in the other cheek that turned around and faced me. Yeah. And then what really gets it? Them Bible totals and quotas. They always got something to say. They always got to be heard. Like one day, I was telling somebody, and this lady said, "You have to forgive." Yeah, I told her, I ain't got to do nothing but stay black and die. But at the same time, too, I let her know, yes, we have to forgive in spite of or not because of. But I let her know too, there's a lot of people out here. I mean, depending on the situation, a lot of them are not as forgiving as a lot of people are, and it's sad. But people have their reasons. Like I said, people have their reasons why they're the way they are. But guess what? Like I said, people have their reasons, but it doesn't make it right. That doesn't mean it's right. I mean, just because like I said, everybody had traumatic experiences, but it doesn't mean that you have to go. It doesn't mean you have to have attitude towards others, especially to the ones who don't have no idea what's going on, and the ones who haven't done anything to make you feel that you have to have attitude toward them. So that's why I always stress about treating others the way you want to be treated. I mean, sometimes, like they say, you can't be nice to everybody. Yes, that's true. Because it doesn't cost to speak and it doesn't cost nothing to be kind or courteous. You can walk and say, hey, how you doing? And the person might say, go F yourself or have something smart to say. Now, in this day and time, the best thing to do is walk away. Because honestly, you don't know if that person has a gun or a knife or any form of weapon. So the best thing to do, walk away now. Now, believe me, if I had that mentality where I just didn't care about nothing, nobody, I just didn't care about life, believe me, I probably would have been one of those jokers who carry a gun. But guess what? This is not The Walking Dead, but on the way it's going today, it feels like that. It's not even safe to step out onto your porch. It's not safe. That's why when you, that's why I always say a special prayer in the moment. That's why I got to give it to them. I got to give peace to the nation, to Islam, because they pray 5 times a day. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't blame it on it. Don't blame it on Islam. Because believe it or not, it's in the Holy Bible. A, a lot of things Muslims, Islam does practices, and people laugh. And the reason why they laugh, believe it or not, because they're confused, and most of them are brainwashed. They don't know the truth. They don't know what's going on. But guess what, y'all? I'm just gonna say this one time, one more time. Co-signing bull is not a necessity, and dick riding is not a form of transportation. So do your research. Learn what they was when you when like they told us when we was in school. Learn what they taught us. Do your research and use it against them, the ones who taught you. So guess what? I got to give it to I got like I said, peace to Islam. Assalamu alaikum. But even though I support Islam, but don't get it twisted. I grew up singing in church, and I wouldn't consider myself Christian. I would consider myself Islam. I wouldn't consider myself Buddhism or none of that. I consider myself a man. Carlos Stargell. That's who I consider as a man. Because before all that was brought upon me, before I came out the room, I was a man. Yes. So they say, are you Christian? Are you Islam? Are you Buddhism? Are you this? Are you that? I said, no, I'm a man. And this man, not only I'm a man, but I have a name. And I have a name my mom named Carlos DeAndre Stargell. And just, like I said, yes, I do. Yes, I do support Islam. Yes, I do. Like I said, even though I grew up singing in church, Christianity, but I support Islam. So I'm not gonna throw religion in, because it's not about religion. It's more about your spirit. So check this out. I'd rather be good spirit. I'd rather be led by good spirit than to be bamboozled by Bullshit. And you know what I mean. You got some people who will steer you the wrong way. They'll tell you something that doesn't mean you the greater good, and then you be misled, you be had, you'll be took. So use your mind, people, and use your mind to make your own judgment. If you feel good judgment, so be it. If you know it's bad judgment, move away. That's all I'm gonna say. Move away. But anyway, y'all, that's almost the time. It's almost time for me to jet out for a little bit. But I will be back later on. I will be back at 6:15. So I do take call-ins as well. So if you willing to call, if you like to join in, and we and discuss a topic, you feel free. 919-292-5599. And you can touch the subscribe button if to subscribe to at Carlos Stargell 910 OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. I mean, like I said, it's all on him. It's not about going, it's all about positivity. Everything, a whole lot of stuff out here is irrelevant, but this is about positivity. And for the ones who like to call, if you're gonna call, stick to what's pertaining to this podcast. Nothing else, everything else is irrelevant. Everything's pertaining to podcast. But anyhow, I will be back later on. I will be back between the hours of 6:15, 6:30, or put it like this. Between the hours of 6, I'll be there 6:15 to 6:30. So you will see me. You will hear from me later on. But until then, again, before I leave out, give another birthday shout out to George Benson. Give another shout out to George Benson and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's own. So what I'm about to do, about to close out with a song by George Benson, and I just called it out earlier, and I'm ending this with speaking on this mentor. We all remember Wes. Now, those who don't know, yes, Wes Montgomery was his biggest influence. Now, he tell you the truth, the style do kind of sound like him. Now, check this out before we leave. Now, that's the song that got a lot of radio play here in Atlanta, Georgia as well. But anyway, that's about the time we have left. I will be back like between 6:15 and 6:30. Until then, y'all have a productive day. Stay positive. Take care of yourselves and each other. God bless you all. Peace to fingers. I'm out of here like last year. Right after station identification, I will be back. Talk to you later. OG Lowe's. And thanks for tuning in to OG Lowe's Corner, Hangout Corner. Carlos Stargelo, OG Lowe. Peace.